Are we creating the world we want to live in? Hey guys, it's John sitting here in my studio on a beautiful day. It's 72 degrees outside, and I am very excited to make this video today and get it done so I can get outside. I wanted to hop on and talk about this concept of, are we creating the world we want to live in? Right now there's a lot of people who are all freaked out about end times and fascism and all these various um, ideologies. When you live in America, it's such a divided country right now. But when you break down the borders and the barriers, and you look at the idea of all humanity is one, all humanity is, we are all humans. Every part of the world is human. If we're creating a world of love and equality, then the the countries that have the most dominance have to be knocked down to a place of equality. Because if you look what's happened yesterday, the Canadian Prime Minister did not come visit the United States as his first thing in office, first trip in office. What did he do? He went to France. He went to Europe. Well, what's happening right now with America is America is being knocked off a pedestal, and being knocked off a pedestal by certain elements within the government. But it's losing respect all over the world. It's becoming a situation that's unsustainable. And I'm not 100% sure. No, I do not prophesy. I never prophesy. Please don't think this is a prophecy. This is just me looking at the world and where it's going and where it seems to be going. It's not a prophecy yet. There's nothing set in the future. There's nothing set in the future. But if you're looking at the world from a perspective of equality and love and the world as a whole, if we really want a loving, caring world, we can't have one country dominant over all the rest. We can't have an empire. We have to have the earth humanity, the civilization of one. We are humans on this planet. We need to come together in harmony. Harmony cannot exist if one country is holding dominance or sway over the rest of the world. When you've traveled, especially as much as I have, you find there's beautiful people everywhere. Everywhere. Everywhere, beautiful people. And it's the struggle for power or control or dominance that keeps us from having a loving world and respecting people in a way that is inclusive. And when I look at this, where the world is going right now, people are freaking out because America's losing its power right now in a very big way. Um, it's lost respect of all of our allies. It's gaining respect with other people who want to have the same power struggle and the same dominance. But what's interesting is the more the people grasp for more power and all of that, the more people are rebelling. The more people are coming up and saying, no, we have to love one another. We have to treat the transgender people with respect. We have to uh, allow gay people to get married. Um, we have to accept that the people who have struggled to get to our country for a better life aren't going to be thrown away because they're not one of us. Um, when you look at the world as a whole, what's happening right now is the growing pains of us changing into a more inclusive world. And when I look at what's going on right now, it's like, you know, uh, for a while there, one electric car company had dominance, had the whole thing. Now you've got Rivian, you've got Lucid, you've got, Ford has one, Chevy has one. Chevy's got one that's got one of the best ranges ever. Now the entire society is leaning into green vehicles and creating more of a sustainable world. And now a quick word from our sponsor. Coffee Time with John. This channel runs off coffee, so get your coffee and tea at johnsjoe.com. The interesting thing is that all of the struggles, all of the things that the current administration is trying to enact is enacting exactly the opposite, because people are rebelling and they're going against the ideas of what this person is trying to do, which is take away and take more power. You know, the Gulf of America, 51st state Canada. We're going to take Greenland. We're going to do all this stuff, right? This is a power grab. This is trying to grab more power to create the empire to be bigger. But the people are rising up and saying no. You look at all of the town halls that are happening right now, they're rising up and they're saying no. Why? Because when the debate is lost, slander becomes the tool of the loser. That's what Socrates said, supposedly. Well, in that regard, everything that's being done right now is slander. They're calling people names or telling Canada they're the 51st state. That's a slander, right? They're all, and the more they do that, the more people rebel. And the more people rebel, the less power they have, because they start to become the boy who cried wolf, right? And no one starts to listen to the boy who cried wolf. Eventually, the boy gets eaten by the wolf, right? And so that's what I personally see happening in the world right now. I think that, you know, it's like when water's going downhill to the sea, its goal is to get to the sea. But sometimes to get to the sea, that water has to fall off a cliff. Now, we can choose in this moment of the water seeming to fall off a cliff. We can choose to decide we're falling and dying, or we can choose to enjoy the flight down to the closer to a beautiful sea. And that's what's going on now. People are choosing to get afraid and they're choosing to scream and think they're dying, when in reality, these are just the growing pains of a more beautiful world coming into fruition. And you know, we have those moments of struggle. You know, we have all been focusing on getting a more beautiful world, a more inclusive world, no matter what side of the aisle you're on. We all want a loving world. We all want people to treat people fairly and kindly. We all want a world where everyone has opportunity. We all want those things, right? This is just the growing pains of the people who are trying to hold on to power, and they're losing because it's just like in the old kids movie Ants. You know, the grasshoppers can't win because there's more ants than there are grasshoppers. And that's the idea of what I see going on right now. So that people say, John, why aren't you freaking out, John? Why aren't you doing this? I don't freak out because I see it as a logical transition into a more beautiful world. And I think that the people who, you know, who are losing the debate, when the debate is lost, slander becomes the tool of the loser. What happens is I see them slandering, which to me is validating that they're losing. You know, they may look like they're in power right now. They seem to have power right now, but in the end, the ants are going to overcome the grasshoppers. And that's my thought on this. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See you. Bye.